Good evening, and welcome to this week's edition of SoundBytes. We are so excited to be here with Mr. Drew Hale tonight. My name is Brady Corcoran, and I am the coordinator for the audio technology program here at NMC. Let's give it up for Drew Hale.
Good evening. Thank you so much for having me. It's a blast to be here, and I tell you, just the experience so far tonight, hanging out with the students and the people at the NMC, the audio technology department, it's been really cool, and I'm honored to be here tonight. So I'm going to start off with a brand new song from an album I just put out here a couple weeks ago. A song about finding love, and sometimes it can feel like you're a circus star out in the middle of the air waiting for somebody on the other end to grab you. That's what the song is about. It's called Daredevil. You got me in the air, I've lost the ground, only looking up, afraid of looking down. Well, I let go of that rope, I hedged my bet, I put it all on you, girl. I'm all in as a boy can get, and I know before too long I'm gonna have to land. But I'm in this trapeze love, hoping you'll hold out your hand. Please don't let me fall, 'cause you're the only gravity left on a one-way flight, a daredevil in the sky, flying without a net. Well, I spent most of my life with my arms in the breeze, like a circus star, flying through the air with the greatest of ease. Well, your smile distracts me, makes my certainty retreat. Eyes caught up in the moment, clumsy hands forget to reach. And I knew this day might come, and it's happening now. And my solo act falls short, careens to the ground. Daredevil in the sky, flying without a net. Without a net. And I know before too long I'm gonna have to learn. How that I'm in this trapeze love, hoping you'll hold out your hand. Please don't let me fall, 'cause you're the only gravity left on a one-way flight, a daredevil in the sky, on a one-way flight, a daredevil in the sky, flying without a net, without a net. Thank you very much. Oh, man, what an honor to be here tonight. Thank you so much for coming out. For those of you that are here hanging out, for those of you that are watching online, thank you so much for being part of this tonight. I'm so excited to be doing this. I haven't gotten to do just an acoustic show in a really long time, and this is one of my favorite things to do. So thanks for coming to be part of this tonight. She's the kind of girl you only meet once in a lifetime. Pedal to the floorboard, smoking out wheels, kind of wild ride. She'll light you up, burn you down, leave you begging for one more round, then leave you in a cloud of smoke. She's like fire, burning reckless, a white hot flame. Just watch her glow from a distance, sparking like a rocket with a fuse lit. Unpredictable as wild desire. She's like fire. Whoa. She's a boat around, filling your sky with colors. She's the ringing in your ear. She's the explosion. She's a Roman candle, a sparkling flame, a bright, burning, beautiful pain. Deadly when you get too close. She's like fire, burning reckless, a white hot flame in a black dress. Just watch her glow from a distance, sparking like a rocket with a fuse lit. Unpredictable as wild desire. She's like fire. Whoa. Oh, she's like fire. She's like fire. She's like fire. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, she's like fire, burning reckless, a white hot flame in a black dress. Just watch her glow from a distance, sparking like a rocket with a fuse lit. Unpredictable as wild desire. She's like fire. Oh, she's like fire. Oh, she's like fire. Ooh, ooh. Thank you. That was called She's Like Fire. That's on an album I recorded, it's been about 5 years now, called Roots and Wings. And it was the first thing I recorded after winning a competition called the Country Showdown in Nashville back in 2016. I got to play the Ryman Auditorium, which was pretty cool. One of the best experiences of my whole life. Definitely a bucket list item checked off that night. So here's another song from the new album. This is called I Don't Sleep Anymore. Baby, I don't sleep anymore. Baby, I don't sleep anymore. I spend the witching hours pacing, wearing circles in the floor. Baby, I don't sleep anymore. Baby, I don't cry when it rains. water pouring down my face. Well, I just stand there with my arms out, let it wash away my pain. Baby, I don't cry when it rains. It's like the lone wolves refrain, or the long cold whistle of a lonesome midnight train. Screaming in my mind, echoes driving me insane. And I can't stop it, no, I can't stop it. Baby, I don't sleep anymore. Well, I just lie awake, wondering where you are. And if other arms are wrapped around the space that I reach for, baby, I don't sleep anymore. It's like the lone wolves refrain, and the long cold whistle of a lonesome midnight train. Screaming in my mind, echoes driving me insane. And I can't stop it, I can't stop it. Baby, I don't sleep anymore. Baby, I don't sleep anymore. I spend the witching hours pacing, wearing circles in the floor. Baby, I don't sleep anymore. Baby, I don't sleep anymore. Thank you very much. That was I Don't Sleep Anymore. Here's a song I wrote for my wife. This one's called Whole Heart. She don't feel anything small, cries even when she don't want to over anything at all. No, she don't do a damn thing halfway. Oh, she's a whole heart. She'd laugh in a rainstorm, let her hair fly in the wind. She can't get close enough to you, would like to crawl under your skin. Wears her heart on her sleeve with her tattoo. Yeah, she's a whole heart. She's raw and she's real, feels every ache you feel like it's hers. Her mind is a whirlwind of worries, hopes, and what ifs, and it turns. If you're hers, you can bet she'd fight to the death if anything ever meant you harm. She lives loud and she loves hard. Yeah, she's a whole heart. She's a winter coat with flip-flops, cheap champagne, rich chocolate, and home dates. She'd cook for an army, even if it's just her family she feeds. No, she ain't ever been any less than all in. Nah, she's a whole heart. She's raw and she's real, feels every ache you feel like it's hers. Her mind's a whirlwind of worries, hopes, and what ifs, and it turns. Oh, if you're hers, you can bet she'd fight to the death if anything ever meant you harm. She lives loud and she loves hard. Yeah, she's a whole heart. She's raw and she's real, feels every ache you feel like it's hers. Her mind is a whirlwind of worries, hopes, and what ifs, and it turns. Oh, she's up and she's down, lost and she's found, and most times she feels like she's too much. So hold her tight, love her hard. Boy, you better hold her tight and love her hard with your whole heart. 'Cause she's a whole heart. Thank you so much.
Can we download that song?
That song is on the brand new album called Without a Net. Right now it's only available on bandcamp.com, but very soon it's going to be available everywhere you stream or download music. And thank you all for listening. So stay tuned. Drew Hale Live on social for more information about when that's going to be dropping anywhere you stream or download. And thank you all so much for hanging and listening and just being part of this tonight. So this song is actually on an album I put out, my very first solo album. It was 11 years ago this year, which is still crazy to me. I moved from El Paso, Texas to Northern Michigan. Gosh, it's going to be almost 15 years ago, which is crazy to me. And I put my very first solo project out a few years after I moved here, album called Eyes Closed Tight. And this song was on it, and I've since kind of reinvented it. It's called Don't Mean a Thing. It goes like this. 6 a.m., the sun ain't up. Grab my usual coffee cup. Same old Monday morning song. Draw the curtains back a touch. Shiver as I close them up. It's the longest winter I recall. But yesterday along M22, stopped and marveled at the view. No longer took my breath away. Or maybe it's just the chill I thought makes me numb to the artwork of God. But you know I know better. Ooh, it don't mean a thing without you. No, it don't mean a thing. Tuesday morning, early June. Sun is warm, the trees in bloom. Winter's chill is come and gone. I get out to take a walk downtown past the rush of dogs and bikes and sound. Streets all flowing like a song. So long I've been doing fine, keeping you out of my mind and away from all my dreams. But just walking across the open space, memories bring back your face. It's like you hide around each corner. Ooh, it don't mean a thing without you. No, it don't mean a thing. Ooh, just don't mean a thing without you. No, it don't mean a thing. And I'm just trying to get on with my life and pretend I'm doing fine. But sure, every time I close my eyes, every time I close my eyes, ooh, it don't mean a thing without you. No, it don't mean a thing. Ooh, just don't mean a thing without you now. No, it don't mean a thing. Thanks very much. I was don't mean a thing. So I don't know if y'all know this or not, but we are still kind of at the tail end, but we were in a pandemic for the last 2 years, even though it feels like we missed 2 complete years of life. I know, it's surprising to me too. But for the last 2 years, we've all been kind of stuck at home in some regard or another. So, for me, the way I deal with that as a songwriter is I write songs. I do things to help myself be creative and to try to put down into words what I'm experiencing, what I'm feeling. Because I feel like sometimes the only way to really get through to people in a situation like this is through music. Sometimes music speaks words that we just can't speak to each other. So there's a whole bunch of songs that are going to be on the next project that's going to be out later on this fall that kind of speak to my experience during those couple of years. But this is one that I wrote that was completely separate, that was just kind of a concept I had, and it's called Knight in Shattered Armor. And the concept is here, I got to thinking about all the old stories about knights in shining armor rescuing the damsels in distress. And I got to thinking, we're in 2022, the damsel can rescue her own damn self. And sometimes maybe it's the knight that needs to be rescued. And so that's kind of what this song is about. It's Knight in Shattered Armor. It goes like this. Back in my prime, I was fearless, brave, and daring. Like Galahad, my quests were the stuff of legends. And I was quick to raise my fist, defending honor. Now I flinch at every sideways glance I'm given. Oh, I'm foolish and I'm flighty. Oh, how far fell I, the mighty. I used to ride in with my steel shining brightly. Rescued damsels in distress upon my white steed. Oh, but somewhere down the ragged road, the legend fell, pride took its toll. And this has-been hero has not much to offer. So would you rescue me, your knight in shattered armor? Once upon a time in a kingdom far away, in another distant land, in another far-off place, well, I fought for my fair lady, and her heart was my great prize. It was happy ever after, with our walls still fortified. Oh, but I couldn't slay the dragon, and it burned us down to ashes. I used to ride in with my steel shining brightly, rescue damsels in distress upon my white steed. Whoa, but somewhere down the ragged road, the legend fell, pride took its toll, and this has-been hero has not much to offer. Used to ride in with my steel shining brightly, rescue damsels in distress upon my white steed. Well, somewhere down the ragged road, the legend fell, pride took its toll, and this has-been hero has not much to offer. So would you rescue shattered armor? Shattered armor. Thank you. So a few years ago, I walked a friend of mine through divorce. And when you walk somebody through something like that, it not only teaches you a lot about them, but a lot about yourself. You know, anytime you give up, your time and what's best for you to help somebody else, there's something that happens inside of you that changes, that becomes better, that becomes stronger. And I don't think I realized that before this situation. But watching her struggle through this, come out the other side stronger than she went in, was a huge inspiration for me. And hopefully this song will be an inspiration for you as well. I wrote this song for that situation, and it's called Ashes. There's a noise that you get to know when you live alone. The deafening silence of the telephone. I thought I was done with those days when I fell for you. Somehow there's how feels emptier now with you in the room. So I'm gonna pour my tears like gasoline, and I'm gonna burn us down in effigy. Build a fire, pile it high with your memory and my pride. Bring a bottle, strike the matches and let it burn down to ashes. Before our love ran cold, those nights with the lights up and the shades down, like a wrecking ball on the radio. Oh, you love me like the devil with an angel's touch. But now our flame burns weak, and we barely speak. And honey, I've had enough. Well, I've had enough. So I'm gonna pour my tears like gasoline, and I'm gonna burn us down in effigy. Build a fire, pile it high with your memory and my pride. Bring a bottle, strike the matches, and let it burn. Let it burn, let it burn. Whoa, all down to ashes, all down to ashes. Build a fire, pile it high with your memory and my pride. Bring a bottle, strike the matches, let it burn down to ashes. Let it burn. Thank you very much. That's one of my favorites to play live. Thank you all so much for listening. Had a friend one time had to ask me, dude, what's effigy? I'm like, well, it's like when you burn something in honor, or like when you set a funeral pyre on fire. Like, to burn something in effigy is to burn it in memory of something. So in case you're wondering what effigy means. So now every time these particular friends come to see me at a show, every time I sing that line, they yell out, "What's effigy?" And yeah, it's fun. I have really fun fans, so. And now for something even sadder. Probably the saddest song I've ever written, but also one of my favorites. This was on the last album, will also be re-released on Without a Net. You ever had one of those dreams that you kind of go through it all night and it's super vivid and it feels incredibly real, and you will kind of wake up and go back to sleep and it like continues all night long? I had this dream not long after I lost my dad to cancer that my wife passed away, and it was a really weird thing, and it kind of ate me up for a couple of days. So I did what I do. I put some lyrics down, and it was really kind of painful, and I couldn't finish it. So I sent it to a friend of mine in Nashville. Her name's Amy Chenoweth, and she helped me craft this song into something that ended up becoming a really healing thing for me. Maybe it will for you as well. This is a song for anybody who's ever lost someone, and it's called They Don't Know. Of all the seasons I hate fall the most, I can't stand the color change in mid-October, 'cause those fallen leaves and bare oak trees remind me what I've lost, and that winter time is right around the corner. Yes, she always loved so much when the chill came. Pulling on her favorite sweater made her smile. She said this time of year made it hard to wear a frown, but it seems that's all I'm ever wearing now. And whoever said love never fails is a liar, 'cause it'll burn you up, then it burns out.
fire. And they say it's better to love and lose than never love at all. But they don't know, 'cause they've never lost you. Some mornings I still reach out to hold her, and I'll go to wake her up with a gentle kiss. But in my hands I only find the distance, and a place of one I'll never learn to miss. And whoever said love never fails is a liar, 'cause it'll burn you up, then it burns out like a fire. And they say it's better to love and lose than never love at all. But they don't know, 'cause they've never lost you. Oh, love may be patient, oh, but it ain't always kind. The best high you'll ever have, and the worst withdrawal. Well, love may move mountains, and it can save a soul, but it only feels like shackles when you're feeling it alone. And whoever said love never fails is a liar, 'cause it'll burn you up, then it burns out like a fire. And they say it's better to love and lose than never love at all. But they don't know, 'cause they've never lost you. Oh, they don't know, 'cause they've never lost you. Of all the seasons, I hate fall the most.
Thank you very much. Because they don't know. Getting close to the end of my set here. I've got 2 more songs for you this evening. This is one that's not officially released yet, but will be. This is going to be on the next project that I'm working on for the spring. And I've always wanted to write one of these songs. This was actually a project that I did for myself. There was a few types of songs that I had never written. And so I kind of made myself a challenge to write some of them. And some of them turned out great. Some of them, will never be used ever again. Or they ended up being pieces for other songs that were written later. As a songwriter, it's a really good practice to just get out all the ideas, even if they're not great. Because when you get them out, then it makes room for other ideas. So it was a pretty cool process, but this song came out of it, and this song in particular is the type of genre that is referred to in Americana and country music as a murder ballad. It's pretty self-explanatory, and they're pretty fun to write. So this is a song I wrote, and the story is that there's this Southern gentleman, and the time is non-specific. The time period is non-specific. It could be whenever, but there's this Southern guy living in this giant mansion who's got a house full of servants and people that work for him, and he's been mistreating them for years. One in particular, a young lady that worked for him that he ended up coercing into an affair, letting go. And the story, which you'll find out, is that the maid and butler who have been on staff for years and years have just had enough. And so they end up taking care of it in a really interesting way. So take a listen to find out what that is. This is called Southern Gentlemen Require Discretion.
Heard the birds all singing yesterday. Guess that means spring is on its way. It's been cold this winter underneath the snow. And I know just what'll happen when it goes. So I'm hoping that it stays another day. It all began last December 21st. I gave my speech just like I had rehearsed. The mirror nodded firmly and then winked. The plan was laid out perfectly. I poured myself a drink. I walked downstairs to deliver her the worst. I said, my darling, you and I today are through. Southern gentlemen like I can't fraternize with folks like you. A taxi man will move your things down to the street. So Godspeed and don't forget to be discreet. Then I sat down in my cushy leather chair. Thought back on the many times that I'd had her there, while her fellow wait staff members turned their heads. Too bad, I'll have to replace her, I chuckled to myself. And went to bed without even a prayer. And I'm well aware that the fire held to my chest, but old money buys you silence and power buys the rest. Humility is only for the cowards and the weak. Love is merely settling for defeat. Some people say they're scared to be alone. As for me, I'm quite comfortable living on my own. People provide a means to an end, and a man is a fool who'll call another friend. I walk to my windowsill to look out on the lawn. That night the first snowfall was falling hard. Quite the metaphor for the ice within my heart. I felt a push behind me without sound. Shattered glass and flailing limbs fell to the ground. 3 flights up, the maid and butler looking down. What a pity, and I fond her to it all. 'Cause my mama always told me pride would come before the fall. The snow continued falling like a blanket on my back. Cold took over and everything went black. Well, the sun came back with a vengeance today. The blanket covering me slowly melts away. A passerby screams out to the street. The gentleman has fallen, call the doctors and police. And a new wind blows throughout the blooming trees as the camera crews all gather underneath.
Thanks very much. Yeah, I showed that one to my wife for the first time. She was like, "Man, that's morbid. You just no one even found him until the springtime because he's horrible and had no friends." And so it's a cautionary tale, my friends. Well, I got one more for you tonight before we call it an evening. Once again, I want to thank the NMC Audio Technology Group for having me out tonight. This has been an absolute blast. I'm so honored. You guys are doing some great stuff here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Woo.
So I'm going to end with this one tonight. This is a brand new one off the just released album called Without a Net. This is going to be anywhere you stream or download music here in the next few weeks. Please go check out Drew Hale live on social, anywhere you do social, for more information about that. And all my dates you can find either at drewhalelive.com or if you follow Bands in Town, they're all listed there. Got a whole bunch for the rest of the year, both solo and with the band. Would love to see you out and about. This last song tonight is called River Jordan. I'll leave you with this.
Well, I went down to the river. Well, I went down to the cleansing stream to let my burdens down beside the water. Broken and heavy-hearted, bound by shackles of shame, dragging all my chains down to the water. And I prayed, River Jordan, take me in, wash me clean of all my sin, rock me till my demons sleep, pray the Lord my soul to keep. River Jordan, take me in, hold me till I'm whole again. If I die beneath your waves, I pray the Lord my soul to take. Well, I went down to the river, to the man by the cleansing stream. He took my hand and walked me down to the water. He asked what I believed in most, the Father, Son, or Holy Ghost. And I wept because I did not have an answer. And I prayed, River Jordan, take me in, wash me clean of all my sin, rock me till my demons sleep, pray the Lord my soul to keep. River Jordan, take me in, hold me till I'm whole again. If I die beneath your weight, I pray the Lord my soul to take. Oh, River Jordan. Well, I knelt down in the river, felt the rush of the cleansing stream, start to wash my sins out into the water. I felt a hand behind me, felt the water on my face, as the man pushed my head under the water, and he held my head under the water, and he held my head under the water. Oh, yeah. Thank you all so much. I'm Drew Hale. It's been a blast. We'll see you again soon.
Oh, Lord. What is happening?
happening, everybody? How are you doing? I'm Doc TPC. This was Drew Hale. Can we hear it one more time? All right, thank you for tuning in to this week's SoundBytes concert with Drew Hale. Again, I am Doc TPC reporting live from the NMC Audio Tech building at Founders Hall in Northwestern Michigan College. Yeah, Drew Hale, you got a project coming up, I heard.
Yeah, so we just kind of released, did a soft launch for a brand new album called Without a Net. It's available right now only on Bandcamp.com, where if you download that, you also get a free 6-song EP of demos from the next project, which is pretty cool. It's going to be available anywhere you stream or download music, Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play, Amazon, all that stuff here within the next few weeks, so stay tuned for that. We're excited about it.
Oh, fantastic. So I did get to know you and your son a little bit while we were doing this thing. He seems like your #1 fan, and also he helps you on the road.
He does. Aside from being my bodyguard, he my oldest son Hunter runs my merch for me when he comes on the road. So not bad. He's pretty cute and ends up doing a lot of sales. He's really good at his job. So I mean, how can you say no to this face?
Oh, that is the face only a dad could love. So, Drew Hale, thank you so much for joining us. Next Thursday, we'll be joined by Tony Manfredonia. You can find some more information regarding our upcoming concerts by following us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram at NMC Audio Tech. Drew Hale, everybody, give it up. All right. Thank you so much for joining us. Peace.